no Supreme Court mpanyimfo esiye na wode beto dwa se deputy speaker etna se e wo mmrahye bedwema obetumi atna se ahwa madwumadi akoso na brekro na ye to aba watumi atobe ye kan nipa dodo wo so omutumi eba mmrahye bedwema so e madwumadi no e hya ase nso a watumi de ne ho ahyem am yakan bi no eno ho asem na omampanyi akase se edom kuma no ekase ginaye a Supreme Court atemuafo esiye e makwan e matemu adwuma no e de ne hwene ewurawura mmrahye bedwafo dwumadie mu a wo se enye no kre enye sakra na asem no etie na Supreme Court mpanyifo no esi omu ginaye na mmrahye bedwafo no susu egina wo mu ba bia obia na dwuma enti obie ni wa ne de eforefore obia se de edumkuma no eka na omampanyi na nadodan kwakufo ado ekasa no wo che se wonyi ni se omma wo mo keka sansem no omma gibre akenkan Ghana amamra ebo oman no ho ban no esan se amamra no enye tuntum na enye fufu ewo de eka.
I'm quite sure that the people who are saying this have actually taken the time to read the constitution of our country. It says so in black and white. The legislative power of Parliament that is vested of the state, which is vested in Parliament, is subject to the provisions of the Constitution. All organs of the Ghanaian state, including me as the head of the executive, we are all subject to the teachings of the Constitution. There's no body in the Ghanaian state that is above the fundamental law of the land. It would lead to the very matter that we have striven so long to avoid, the concentration of power, of unregulated power in our state. We don't want that. We've had that experience before, and we brought about this constitution in order not to allow that to reoccur. So I'm astonished about how much public energy has been wasted, I would say so with the greatest of respect, been wasted in an area, on an issue where there is so much clarity. And I'm happy that the court, and I'm sure as you're aware, the Supreme Court, when it is declaring the meaning of the Constitution, and it does so unanimously, that is the most emphatic way in which the court can pronounce. And it is, I believe, a decision of 7 of the judges, and a unanimous decision declaring what the constitutional position is. I think we have an opportunity now to put this matter to rest and continue with the work of our parliament and the work of the ordering of our state. But as I say, I suspect that it is this peculiar position which we are with this very headline majority in the parliament that has given rise to all of these disputations and people making claims that are completely beyond the teachings of the Constitution and our understanding. But now that the Supreme Court has pronounced, I think what is required is for the nation, all of us, to put that matter behind us and to do our work. To suggest that somehow or other the Parliament is beyond the scrutiny of the Supreme Court when issues of interpretation is to suggest that Parliament is a law in itself. The whole principle of judicial review was developed by the judges, both in America and in England, to be able to check the activities of Parliament. Indeed, in our own country, the first major constitutional case which looked at the work of Parliament was in the case Tufo and the Attorney General, where the act of Parliament, the decision of the Parliament to subject the then Chief Justice, the late Frederick Kwesi Apalu, to a vetting process in Parliament, had been expressly forbidden by the Constitution. And that is the reason why Dr. Makutufo, the late Dr. Makutufo, unfortunately late, took the matter to the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court made it quite clear that all the activities of all the institutions of our republic that impugn, that violate the Constitution, are subject to the powers of the court and to the declarations of the court. Me, I want to repeat it, President, head of the executive, I am subject to the Constitution and to law. I cannot set myself above it.
Sa ensem kro ya Supreme Court u esigna yese
Mrashibedwafie say the deputy speakers no sa wo mutna adwam e de ma Mrashibedwafie chiame na ye to aba wo nso betumi atubia na ye kan wonum a betumi aka wonum afra no na na dan kwakufo da kasa wo homa mu no de atodwa say sa na tie dia ye ma asem no enna.
The noise that was generated on this, at the time I was extremely surprised because as far as I can see it, and I think the Supreme Court has confirmed it, the matters involved in this thing are open and shut. They're black and white. There can be no dispute about the issues that the gentleman took to the Supreme Court. It is there for anybody who wants to see. In Articles 102, Articles 104 of the Constitution makes it absolutely clear in black and white that the deputy speakers, I'm not speaking of the speaker, I mean the deputy speakers, when they're presiding, have the right to participate in the vote of the parliament. The whole structure of the Constitution is, and indeed, and I believe that would have been part of the reasoning of the court, all the legislatures of the world where the presiding person is a member of the legislature, like our deputy speakers are, like the Speaker of the House of Representatives in the United States, or the President pro tem of the Senate in the United States, or the Speaker of the British Parliament. All of those have the right to speak because they are members of the Assembly. Our Speaker is expressly not a member of the Assembly. That's why he doesn't have the right to vote. In fact, he did really want not even to participate in the deliberations of the House. He's a referee, making sure that the debate is conducted properly and that the rules of procedure, the orders of the House are complied with. That's his role. But he ought, strictly speaking, not to be part of the proceedings of the House. That is not the case with the deputy speakers. And that matter is transparent on the face of our Constitution. Indeed, even the presiding members of our district assemblies, they have the right to vote. Look at the district assembly law, because they are members of the assembly. And once you are a member of the assembly, you're representing certain constituencies. If you are denied the right to vote, it will mean it is tantamount to denying the right of the people you represent to have a say in the decision of the assembly. That would not be right. So I couldn't understand what all of this furore and controversy that was artificially generated. We're being told that the decision of the court amounts to judicial interference in the work of Parliament.
Omampanyida da John Dramani Mahama asi Supreme Court mpanyifo gina ya wosiye edifa enura deputy speaker gina bre ewo emrahebedwem ebra wotena epunuti ho no enye entwe yie kwakrakwa se we ba baye bibia eda ho da kye ankwa manyina a chese ebema obia aye de ope eba no emra no mu a wo se wo hwese de atemu mpanyifo etena se na edipa nso mu nyina no ko bankrom ba kokra an 20 ana ha adwen papa enya de a etwe yie kra na omampanyida da John Dramani Mahama kase no se ono a wote se de omusi giran na wote shock enso akwa bi so no anya no nwanwa se chese de omo pese omo ya ene omo eye no na sesa na tie de o se ene aden ena Justice Abdullahi and the ebetu Supreme Court mpanyifo say Article 102 ene 104 1992 Constitution womo emfa enchechemu emra no womo ntumi afa enchechemu ama no manyina so ensi giran se owura jo osewu studio oye no na chese entia Ghana amamra sesa na tie de na nke wo se wotumi esi ginaye na wo kire enunsumo ema Ghana fo nyina ehu bi na ni nyina emo no na ekowie se eye standing order wo de adwuma e omrahebedwem order 109 clause 3 ne de Supreme Court mpanyofo aboatuego
Yet wakase bonu eso asante mantam soafo awonu onunyamfo Simon Osemensa kasa e de atu Ghana fo nyina nim say yenhwe na yi 11 yenjintum se de beya e bobo kwan atu honom ama abano atoa nimpuntu dwuma no eso
Ononyafo Simon Osemensa di nsem etu dwa no. Okyerɛkyerɛ mu sɛ Ghana ban ahyase ɛyɛ mpuntundwuma akoduro bebre a ebi akwan ne mu akoduru baabi nanso baabi a yɛduro no aya na sikasɛm ho abɛyɛ den kakra ɛno nso nti ene behia sɛ Ghana de hye nyina ate ase na yɛde yi levy ɛba ne nyina yi to kakra de boa na ama enwuma a yɛfra ase akoduru baabi no yɛtimi awie ne so abamfaso ɛde ama ɔman no wɔse we kura bɛboa bi ama contractors bi a ɛnam ɛka aban ne di wɔn nti wasesa wɔn nneɛma afri site no nkɔma sa akɔhɔ biem akɔtoa enwuma no so wɔde nsɛm nyina ɛto dwa no na wɔde ɛnabi asi hɔ a wɔde nani akyerɛ mmeammea ahodoɔ bi wɔ asantemantam a mpuntudwuma a ɛkɔ soɔ no na wɔde nani kuro twa wisie kɔhwɛ sɛ ɛhe ɛna ɛduru na sɛn ɛne yɛayɛ no
project no deɛ sɛdeɛ mu nyinaa mu ho yɛ no ɛkɔ so kama na emom deɛ bɛsrɛ ne sɛ sikasɛm no wɔ mɛm no ayɛ den ti aban no si ɔbɛgye e-levy yɛmmoa na yɛma ban no kwan parliament ma hyɛbɛgyafoɔ no mmoa na ɔma ban no kwan na nhyehyɛ bi ɔsɔ ɔmo yɛ ɔmo nyɛ na yɛnye e-levy ɛno ntum na wonya sika aban nya sika intuitua contractors no ka na contractors a free site na ɔmo nyinaa san mra site na wɔn egu so no nso yɛtua sika no bi mu a wɔn nya hoɔden kɛseɛ ɛnyɛ adwuma no ntentem man yɛwie a yɛn nyinaa na bɛboa yɛn ɔman no kyekyere ɔman no mpuntuo no yɛn nyinaa asɛde nyɛ nipa baako asɛde yɛpa what we can do ni sɛ yɛbɛhwɛ sɛ aban no so ɔsi ɔde sika no bɛyɛ akwan ɔde bɛboa mmeranteɛ ne mmabaa ma ɔmo nso anya wɔn adwuma ɔso ɔde bi bɛ expand digitization no ni saa nneɛma no a yɛnhwɛ sɛ saa deɛ no aban no aka no sika na yɛbɛnya no yɛmfa sika no I think that is what is more important na ɛsɛ yɛntumi ntoa so da bi yɛnkɔ IMF yɛkɔ IMF a moma ho kyerɛ de berɛ yɛn nyinaa anim yɛnkɔ la awie school a wɔmu nya adwuma do you want to go back to that tibi abɛsrɛ mrahyɛbadwafoɔ no wɔmu si yɛ anan wɔmu nkɔgye ntum
Engineer Ahmed Masood onene resident engineer wo Asante Achem Central Municipal Hospital project no ho and afi regional engineer at the Department of Urban Roads engineer Francis Gambra omene UTV kasebo etwetwe nkomo kyerɛkyerɛm adwuma no baabi akodru.
I would like to announce that Asante Akim Municipal Hospital is ready 100% to commission and everything is done. The light and the electricity and the water and the all communication lines is done 100%. Depending on the finish date to access wood to the site, we will be ready 100% to finish. Maybe expected in 2 weeks or 1 month, maximum 1 month, as got information to us.
We are Kumasi Roads and Drainage Extension Project and our Lake Road project. No, you know, on Bunibeka we about 90% completion. Here, by June, Edmani be near TNCF the major components, no, a Kasi be vehicular bridge na won't be main road. You free, sniper we here so the Kakofa main road, which would shorten the travel time for Omomo Kowa had seen.
Yadikasiye eko ahmejiemu madaroma ebeba sisia.
Azanfo makwaba ebakasebo so yeto aso
de ekwa Ghana mmrahye na edomkuma ewo mmrahye se aban eto ahoro mako bese miensa bi eda petroleum products so wonhwe so obetumi ayi free so na ebo no aba fom kakra anye saade a se de ekọ no atamba ehye na edomkuma ne chema o se enei Ghana for koto petrol any diesel a chese ebru 8 cedis ewo miamia ahoro a yeton no ewo maimo eno ma ahoche kese pa na omanfo enemu eno anso na ekofa ba ya enam so ama ahyentiade bo yatum ohanchemu edu enumi eno na edumkuma ne se aban enhwe se etuo bi ti se energy sector levy, sanitation and pollution levy and a special petroleum levy sa eto ahoro miensen obetumi ayi free so ama omanfo kom adwo mo na wasan echemo se Bank of Ghana so en manim ya won for 9 NC form na won hwe CD na ba na eba form na na hoodin ehodwo no won pe eho asem enka na wo bokokose se mpanyimfo ampede omukan entia enche ye bekata ye ni ate no petrol ni diesel ebebru 8 cedis ebebru 9 cedis ewo miamia ahoro a ye ton no ewo mai emo
yet wakasebo no eso Ghana Revenue Authority mpanyifo akasa dia todwa say a free Apple day din kan aircrawl enwumeko ahodo a wodi wonjuma ewo internet so ebi etise Amazon, Alibaba, online gaming and afenso betting companies no Jumia, Tonaton, any Google, any enwumeko enkaye no wono ebehya ase etuato
Ghana Revenue Authority empenifo eyensisaye say Apple day dikan enyuma eku ahodo a abefuntintan internet so no di wondwa ebi etise Amazon, Netflix, Alibaba, online betting companies ahodo, Jumia, Tonaton and Google no obesha ase etuato e di amaban sa dwumadie empenifo pa ho to me din edaso any non-resident e-commerce and digital service registration portal no enyuma eku ahodo a abefuntintan internet so no di wondwa a o my Ghana wondwumadie mu no ho mframa so efa ye ho bi no wonyina no obetumi akoho no wode wo ho nsema kogu ho ne wo register na afi brano no wotumatu eto e di amaban Commissioner General awoda Ghana Revenue Authority ano Reverend Amishadai Uswamwa ne kasa yemu no na wo chirema eno no ebebo ma Afia mu no aban ensa kesika be 2.7 billion Ghana cedis e di afisa nyuma eku ahodo a abefuntintan internet so eno di wondwa no enchen
of this portal immediately is also to allow for the foreign e-commerce of non-resident taxpayers to also register on the portal. Taxpayers and their software developers will be engaged and also provided with the application programming interface, the APIs, between now and the end of the month to ensure that they are able to synchronize or link their systems to ours. And then effective 1st April, will ensure that the portal is launched, as it's being launched today, they should be able to start charging and applying the VAT from the 1st of April 2022. In our system, we have built a compliance tool that will ensure that whether it is Google, whether it is Netflix, whether it is Amazon, that the non-resident persons engaged in cross-border business will be able to register, file, and pay the applicable taxes just as their local counterparts. It will enable us to meet or contribute towards the meeting the targets for our 2022 budget.
No, Commissioner General Reverend Amishadai Uswamwa echire nsemu sei echire yen.
Nimbebro ha ye to enema online a chese yanko shop mu ne yekoto. Nimani bi ho so a nipa na ede ma ye to no omonye nipa omo eye base ewo Ghana. Enso no omo trade ewo Ghana sufficiently. Nti ni aye ne say ya critical system ya be ma wo nyina ba bia wo bia opese wo trade wo Ghana no e so wo register. You say wo ye transaction bia na tax e so wo tua no na ya tumi ama wa file na wa tua. Na ya system such a way say and found be kan wo say ye wo America so wo China once opese obi etumi to wa de free Ghana ne de. Na say wo so tua tax a e wo say wo so I ton wo shop mu so no echiano ewa bia Facebook, Netflix, Jumia, Alibaba, Amazon nina also be register if it will be in line with VAT same percentages na per there's no differences between, and where there are any other things will come out with the exact advice. Betting for so almost registered bi nti to say bia you can't say bia bet something or more yes football betting do omo ye base wo ha no nkofo bet wo ha ama omo nya omo sika omo nyina so omo nyina so e ba afia ye hye nti the amount I expect no will not be very significant, but in our hyehyemu no ye dey ani abu about 1.7 billion I believe say betimi free more about in terms of any the automation of the VAT system no
Yet what and some no so and Netema High Court at Nancy, His Lordship Justice Daniel Mensah and it's not a dream. Now what's not a dream, Orua Oliver Baka Vomawo, or no any Nkoko Pie Court enemy. Now a month for Bekaya or Penny, face the country convener and no, or no na a court na Facebook or Senate Twitter war, a court say, CG E levy etumdia and obey ku, a wo may emo, and no an aquacofa assembly brenna, yet chininya, or asini bie. Now a bread in copy court and neno not as a lawyer akoto ampao edi woman nimno hadi ato court named ndi omania bre epe bill ediama orua vomawo na eno na court mpanyimfo nso echema bill no na kyese nyade a won sabetumi aka esanse eyade a state attorney enso e de affidavit aba sorry etia sa bill na lawyer for epe ediama orua vomawo no na eno na akoto ampa odi akotene ema opanyi vomawo se na lawyer for mu baako e won nsem no emu no wo be se court ne say enka affidavit ya state attorney edi aba sorry etia wo mu bill no ene ya na wo mu nse ka ebre na etia omunya kwanhwe nkrata ne mu kan ti ase e na omo hugina ya omo besi enti nka court no mo na wotwe no mo nkokin kan enti ase na de omo wo no o matumi e de aba enso otemuafo no etena ase din etie nsem ni enkura afani nyina ebowieye na de wo kan nyina ene se owura voma wo no oyare na ne ho dodoro no ene ko bisa no se gya ne ho ye enti otumi abepiem e wo court enti de obetimi ide ama na lawyer fo ane se wo ma wo mo kopem adwada match busumi ne de toso edunan obesan afre asem no enti na wotwe de enya de a atemu adwuma epene so na emom adwada ye match busumi ne da etoso edunan e na court besan atena se wo si gina se bela na lawyer for epediama orua voma wo no wo mo de bema no announce say the state attorney edi affidavit sorry etia no eno e na be ye adwuma adwada wo mo kwa asetena de besi no e na ye be hu no
sayeko bono mantemu a aban kwaye brensuo eye forest reserve makomako enson ene wo ho enya ne ntie se emu enum de fulani ene nantwie fuo ya nampo mu ene omu nantwie no o ma hyase ese sa forest reserve no
fia fulani for de ede ba no adoso papa na enema ekoso wo time 2 ho no titru forestry for Mwamunim from Ghana government amomo asase a wo mu dua nnua wo so de no to nkyan a ye wo akuafo pia a wo mu wo mfuo wo ho ma fulanifo ne yanantwie wo mu ma mbese ye niema umpo mwanka sankasa munim se omoko babia na se omoko wi nkrofo niema na bia kuaninu ni bufu okum na ntwe sepe next time no ono fama no na fulani nu bekunu anu ndanchen omuni na mu ho mu a na emma ne yefa wo no enti mentra ho ma sandi me emba
isi anu so atese no pe ko no nantwe na titi asase so mana kase enti udio duaba no kra na peyensi pe na nyina den ni nyina wu na isi anu so no ye sti gye isi no embo forest no ba mu so tembia bokọ no omu se ne dwi ni de no tembia enna mu yusu enti be ko na den ja no Jaisiano, ama a omuma a cosopa, and also a yes, Ebia Kurumafon a omana umudisajmano.
Yes, sir, no question is say, near bre, sir, and nay, a free no queen and cheer, quite be a my free crodiamu. Am I answering yes, and realize ya, no my highest Sarah Pences the Braha, Nadia Jinaha, I can't say. This year, dear, Nanchian free her, every now, ye here and cheer will have him, Sansa, 3 years ago.
Yes, somebody my ebetra, Ken of Kings, information center, catch say. To me, I had a choir, no, or my to me, saying Cocasa honum. And to say, Nim, one bomb Abaham, say, Nim, Nase, Obia, to Moon and Saka, and Jebaqua. I'm sure our balance and would benefit Vioja or Busio. I was say what they are cook video by Euro, Bordio, Banchio, co video, Navaco police station. Every Japadia, you buy your board, your cashew. Oh, council so friend in one qua, or the second duty.
Green Ghana is a threat. Farming is a threat. Food security is a threat. Livelihood will be affected. And why ain't me and free had there? But do you know? Am I going to acquire in a better weapon? Especially for the district. Very soon we are getting the support and then increase the military base and all the resources. Yeah, they call all out. And this time I call no enquire one assembly. All the assemblies na you collaborate. Near Naka, way anyway. Send a bay of Mahunti and Yabri. Because they could draw no see young Camum, no movie for Mamma and India, and yet as much to ye.
Your best aquaji and Katsu, I toss to Emunu Abasisia. Yamamu nyina akwa abayetwa ensam no eso. Edom kese a ewo Ghana mrahye bedwam. De sobo ebo wo mu nuanom edom kuma se aden e no mo mpese nyina so ene fapima emma amamu papa ekoso ewo mamu omo bagye atomu. Emu bi ene se enura Supreme Court mpanyefo atena se gina se Deputy Speaker etena epunuti a otumi to aba ebrekro na so yesi gina a otumi de ne ho eka wo me ye kan no omo so omo ntia ase eno eno ma che obadwe.
Today the NDC is arguing that although the Deputy Speaker has not been specifically prohibited, but they are arguing that by parity of reasoning, once Mr. Speaker has been prohibited when presiding, they should also not have the right to vote when presiding. Our argument is that going by the reasoning in Kojoga Adra, you cannot approbate and reprobate. You cannot, when you are in government, argue because conveniently it goes for you. But today you want to say that that decision should change. In any event, the gentleman who is a plaintiff in the matter is one of their own. The respected lawyer and law lecturer at UPSA, where I also teach as an adjunct lecturer, is one of their own. He's an NDC member. We are not saying they sponsored him to go to court, but that he was inspired by the views of his party members and he went to court. And today, the Supreme Court has delivered its ruling. How on earth will a minority leader make a statement to the effect that the Supreme Court is attempting, or the Supreme Court wants to support the passage of the e-levy? Wasn't it their own party member who went to court? Or to them, immediately they go to court, they must win at all costs? That is not fair. And we are drawing their attention to the fact that if they continue to break down the institutions of democracy, one day they will come back to cross the bridge and there will be no bridge to cross back home.
Our colleagues are saying that, well, when deputy speakers are presiding, we refer to them as Mr. Speaker. And on account of that, it should be construed that deputy speakers are also speakers and accordingly should not have the power to vote, whether original or casting. So that was the initial contention. Subsequently, they are finding refuge under Order 109.3, which provides that the deputy speakers, when they are presiding, will not have their original vote. The Constitution makes the distinction very clear when they refer to the prime person who superintends Parliament. That person is the Speaker. The deputy speakers act on behalf of the Speaker in the chamber in the absence of the Speaker. The deputy speakers, all of them are members of Parliament. Does it happen that when they are elected deputy speakers, they have to vacate their seats? Is it the case that a member of Parliament who is elected as a deputy speaker has to vacate his seat? He doesn't. And for that reason, you should know that they are not the same as the speakers of Parliament.
And Mashirija for a call assistant, Mashirija for the one anko, and I'm so a ball 12.25 pepe, and I'm Mashirija future me a bed true din kind on young for Joseph Ose Usu. One Eka who and I'm so Emma Assistant or to share a dafofro.
I want, perhaps there is another time I do not know. So I just want to know why the Speaker wouldn't adhere to the standing orders, which is the guiding principle of the House.
Subject to the provisions of this Constitution, Parliament may, by standing orders, regulate its own procedure. So, everything Parliament does regarding regulation of its procedure is subject to the Constitution. So, one what the Supreme Court said was that the particular standing order is against the Constitution. It has not taken away the right to regulate it, and that misinformation is going out unfairly. Leaders, I heard one of the leaders this morning, I said, gee, we should not be misinforming the public when it comes to matters like this. Leaders should speak sparingly. So please, whatever we do here to regulate our business is subject to the Constitution. If for any reason anybody says a clause or otherwise is against the Constitution, it is the Supreme Court that will determine whether it is against the Constitution, or we ourselves say no, the Constitution does not give us the power to do A or B or C. Once that determination has been done, if a member wishes to ask for a review, appeal against that, it's open to us. But let's stop misinforming the public that the Supreme Court has taken away the power of Parliament to regulate itself. No. We still have the power to regulate our proceedings, except that we must work within, not outside the Constitution. Thank you. Honourable members, I think there's no more to be said. I asked the numbers to be counted. The result has been brought to me. The total number of members at the time the count was done was 41.
Area busiafo na eha na mre emia kwan ama enumre kase bonu ye de asie midin e de Afia Adutwumwaa Morosa mene
Obahima Afia Asiedu media seda ebema Cute Cat Beauty Parlor womo e na eye miti e ma me e na LS Kuton so e hye me atade medaboafo ni nyina ase.
Busiafo ya mama adwo bebre yasa mama akwaba e de ba National Lottery Authority anum sei bebi e kasa free e Brennan Hall fie kase mu a kire se da ne da draws ne ye no nene e ya wada Fortune Thursday enchi bia ye de ba ba hihye so mo hu de ewom timpatro o hwe ya o hwe live o UTV so sa so na call National Lottery Authority a Facebook page so abehu ye live for ho anase so o YouTube so a koho the National Lottery Authority. Me aminemo ka say me din edikweku asante obetimi afra me Calibos me ni menua ba
Beryl Adum. Today is Thursday, so we'll be having our interactive Thursday moment.
Yeah.
If you have some questions, you want issues clarified, please do feel free to send them down